Do you sense an irrefutable energy rising inside you, the type that causes the air to sizzle with anticipation? It's more than simply a shift. It's your time, your coming, and it's rocking everything they thought they understood. They questioned you for a long time. They disregarded your potential, misjudged your commitment, and confined you to their narrow views. But here you are, surging like a natural force, inexhaustible and unmistakable. This is your time. The reality is apparent. The strength you've always had is no longer veiled. It is out in the open, impossible to ignore, and it's completely upending their lives. Every doubt they cast, every barrier they established, is crumbling in the face of your might. You have walked into your light, and it's not simply lighting your way. Everyone watching is inspired to believe in their own strength. The finest part. This is only the beginning. You are just getting started. The cosmos has much more in store for you. Stand tall, because you aren't just proving them incorrect. You're proving to yourself how great you actually are. Subscribe today. Let us rise together. You've broken expectations in unexpected ways. They misjudged you from the start, dismissing your aspirations as unachievable and your desires as passing fancies. They thought your triumph was too far-fetched to comprehend. They boxed you in, measuring you with their own restricted perspective, believing you'd stay inside their tight standards. But as you began climbing, their story unfolded. Every female you approached was a stark reminder of how badly they underestimated you. With each victory, their doubt faded into astonished quiet, and their incredulity started to crumble under the weight of obvious fact. They are now obliged to reconsider everything. Realizing their omission was due to their own failure to perceive your genius, they assumed winning was reserved for others, and that someone like you could not reach such heights. But here you are, breaking through the hurdles they attempted to erect, and turning each milestone into evidence of your perseverance. Your success does more than just challenge their views. It dismantles them completely. Each step ahead serves as a wake-up call, shattering their preconceptions and forcing them to confront the reality they can no longer deny. They are left to observe, astounded by the transformation they never expected. The narrow frame they attempted to squeeze you into has long ago shattered, forcing them to confront a harsh truth. They underestimated you, and now they can't take their eyes off the unmistakable grandeur that has always been inside you. They never expected you to be so resilient. They misjudged your potential to ascend, expecting that the weight of defeat would hold you back. But each time you met difficulties, you refused to give up. Instead, you exploited each setback as a stepping stone, converting obstacles into chances to become stronger and more determined. Experience what it actually means to be selected. You are not alone on this path. If you have a profound sense that you have been selected, you have come to the correct spot. Take the next step to connect with us. By selecting the Join button, you will have access to exclusive information and receive the necessary assistance on your spiritual journey. This isn't simply about being a member of a community. It's about gaining unique insights that may change your life and bring you closer to your divine purpose. Make your spot among the selected ones. Join today. They assumed your narrative would finish once the journey grew rough. What they didn't expect was how you'd turn each challenge into fuel for your adventure. They felt that suffering would be your breaking point. However, it was the same thing that molded your strength. Your capacity to survive, adapt, and prosper left everyone dumbfounded. They perceived barriers as excuses to withdraw, while you see them as opportunities to go ahead. Your resilience is more than simply surviving. It is about flourishing in the face of adversity. You've shown that setbacks are not obstacles, but rather sparks that propel you to heights others never imagined conceivable. Now they are in astonishment as you not only recover, but fly to new heights, confounding all expectations. Your path has become a tribute to unwavering resolve, demonstrating that no amount of uncertainty or difficulties can stop someone with a spirit like yours. Behold, I'm trying something new now. It bursts forth. Do you not sense it? Isaiah 4:319. Just like a seed lying deep in the ground, undetected and undervalued. You've been growing all along, and now, like a massive oak bursting through the surface, your change is tough to ignore. The person they believed they knew no longer existed, replaced with someone who stands tall, has a strong sense of purpose, and is pushing for more than they ever thought. Your trip has been nothing less than extraordinary. They used to see a cautious, uncertain version of you, but that has been shed like an old skin, leaving behind a strong, confident person who walks with heavenly certainty. Every move you take now echoes with purpose, and every word you say has weight, commanding attention. They're left perplexed, wondering how they could have overlooked the enormous might that lies latent inside you. This is not an ordinary change. It's a full regeneration that emanates from your very center. The doubts and fears that formerly hung about you like shackles have been broken, cast off when you completely realize your God-given potential. Your progress has pushed the boundaries they attempted to impose on you, and now they're struggling to reconcile their antiquated notions with the reality in front of them. You have become a living example of the power of faith, endurance, and divine favor. It's not only about the exterior achievements, which are clearly great. It's about the change in your presence, the light you now carry, and the irrefutable fact that you've connected with something higher than yourself. They see it in the way you dominate a room, how your confidence influences every contact, and how you are no longer constrained by the past. The previous labels they attempted to apply to you no longer work, since you've outgrown every box they put you in. Every interaction with you now seems like a discovery. They see someone who is unashamedly living their mission, someone whose progress has not only lifted them, but also inspired people around them. Your metamorphosis challenges everything they thought they knew about you, as well as what is achievable for everyone who is prepared to accept their purpose. The extent of your progress is evident, and it has left them stunned. They are dealing with the revelation that the constraints they thought characterized you were never genuine. They were illusions caused by their own inadequacies and worries. And now, when they face the new you, they must confront the truth. What was once considered inconceivable is now your reality. Your story is a living fable, a reminder that change is always possible for those who believe in the process and their faith. You embody a life that has been redeemed, restored, and regenerated. And while others try to catch up, you continue to ascend, demonstrating that nothing, not even their misgivings, can stand in the way of divine purpose. This is your time. Your change is more than simply a personal achievement. It demonstrates what's possible. When faith meets action, stand strong, move fearlessly, and let others to observe. As you continue to develop into the person you were always intended to be, the boundaries they perceived were never yours. They were on their own, and now you've taught them what it is to be free. Do not miss out. Subscribe today, and let's create something spectacular together. Your achievement has become an uncompromising mirror, reflecting back everything they've avoided seeing about themselves. You aren't simply flourishing. Your accomplishments reveal the holes in their own lives. Each milestone you achieve causes them to reflect on the decisions they've taken, the dangers they've avoided, and the aspirations they've allowed fade. They can't help but compare themselves to you, and by contrast, they fall short. Your development is not only inspirational, but also unnerving, exposing the flaws in their own self-belief. They've adhered to their comfort zones, unwilling to go beyond what seems comfortable. Now every achievement you achieve seems like a spotlight on the ambitions they once had, but were too terrified to pursue. It's not only your ascension, it is hitting them. It's the awareness that your daring to act has exposed their dread of standing still while you aspire for more. They settled for less, convinced themselves that stability was sufficient. Your accomplishment defies that narrative, demonstrating what is possible. When fear is exchanged for resolve, they are now forced to confront a terrible reality. They were held back not by a lack of opportunities, but by a refusal to take the risk. Your ascension serves as a reminder that bravery leads to progress, while caution leads to stagnation. And it's this discovery that hits them the most, calling into question not just their path, but also their desire to change. If you are experiencing an excess of divine love in your heart, now is the moment to share it. You may help spread God's blessings by clicking the super icon. Click the thank you button on YouTube and contribute $20 or more. This wonderful gift will affect not just your life, but also the souls of countless others. Each of you has a holy position in God's great purpose via this platform, and your giving will provide fruit for our prayers. Act now. Share your riches to exalt His kingdom, since you were meant to do much more in God's loving hands. May God bless you once. Their ideas formed your universe and had a weight you couldn't deny. You turned to them for advice, approval, and affirmation, letting their remarks influence your decisions. However, the tide has turned. You've reached a point when their judgments no longer define you, and your value is securely anchored in your own self-belief. Their sudden freedom has taken them off surprise. They were used to their power, thinking they could direct your destiny with their approval or condemnation, but you've demolished that illusion, demonstrating that their influence was always temporary. You're now on your own road, free of their ideas, and they're straining to comprehend how you've grown so far beyond their grasp. They never dreamed you would be able to flourish without their involvement. They thought that their approval was critical to your success, but you've demonstrated otherwise. Every stride forward you take strengthens the truth. They were never your source of strength. Their replies reflect their dissatisfaction as they come to grips with the truth that you've outgrown the need for their approval. This knowledge hurts because it exposes a painful reality. Their views have no influence over you anymore. You've developed into someone who follows their own inner compass. Conviction takes precedence before external affirmation. The freedom you've gained not only liberates you, but also compels others to face their own shortcomings. It is a dynamic transition. They were unprepared for this, and it is upsetting the base of their knowledge. What hurts them the most is your liberation from their shadow. You've restored your sovereignty and hence your tranquility. They're left to deal with a basic but deep fact. You have outgrown their influence, and your path is prospering as a result. No weapon made against you will flourish, and you will condemn every mouth that rises against you in judgment. Isaiah 5,417. Your journey moves with heavenly velocity, like a river carving its own route through the mountains, and no impediment can stop it. You've tapped into something far bigger than human effort, a power that shifts mountains, parts oceans and aligns the stars to your advantage. This is more than simply your increase. It demonstrates God's hidden hand operating in your life. What they're seeing isn't random. It's the unambiguous manifestation of divine favor, a pattern so obvious that even their denial cannot conceal it. Every door that opens effortlessly, every opportunity that comes your way at the right time, and every relationship that flows naturally with your mission. It's all proof that a higher force is directing your journey to them. It seems inexplicable, even unjust, since they are seeing something they cannot imitate or control. Feel the call. Realize your potential. Subscribe now, and let's climb together. While others race to plan, pushing and pulling results in their favor, you proceed with quiet confidence, led by something they don't comprehend. It's not all about your hard work, however. That is obvious. It's all about alignment. You've discovered the river of divine purpose, and it's easily bringing you to your destiny. To them, this is like seeing a miracle in real time, and it shakes them to their core. They regard your accomplishments as impossible, not due to a lack of skill or effort, but because they lack the connection you've built. You've learned to trust the process, let go of control, and listen for God's whispers of instruction. And today, every achievement you earn reflects that faith. This isn't luck. It's a wonderful arrangement, and it frightens them because it reminds them of their own shortcomings. What concerns me the most is the clarity with which your mission shines. It's not only that you're successful, it's that your triumph seems inevitable. Every effort to upset you reinforces your determination. They're realizing that their efforts aren't simply ineffective, they're irrelevant. You're traveling with the power of destiny behind you, and no amount of opposition can change your course. Each win you claim represents God's favor over your life, a reminder that you are living in harmony with a force beyond their understanding. They believed they could derail you with skepticism, criticism, and even sabotage. However, each stride forward serves as a reminder of both their failure and your faith. It's humbling for them to see you continue to climb despite their efforts to keep you down. The cosmos isn't just working for you, it is functioning through you. Your accomplishment is not a singular feat. It is part of a broader tale, one pinned by the Creator. They cannot deny the revelation. They are witnessing. Perhaps for the first time, consider what it means to walk in divine purpose, and even if they never acknowledge it, they know they're watching something special. This knowledge forces them to face their own reality. They perceive the futility of trying without alignment, the hollowness of effort devoid of purpose. And as others struggle with these facts, you continue to fly, propelled by a power that will not let you fail. You are live evidence that nothing can stop you when God is on your side. So, keep pushing ahead. Allow them to observe as the truth emerges, and your mission becomes stronger with each passing day. Your path is more than simply inspirational, it is transformative. And no matter how much they attempt to deny it, the evidence is unmistakable. You're on a road they can't reach. They are unable to perceive their fate because they are guided by a hand they cannot change. Your perseverance has broken every obstacle they attempted to erect in your way, forcing them to face the reality of their own impotence. They originally assumed that their meddling would derail you, but each hurdle they threw at you fueled your drive. They misjudged your endurance, not comprehending that each challenge was merely hardening your resolve. While they reflected on their unsuccessful efforts, they confront a harsh discovery. Their acts did not hamper you, but rather moved you forward. Every obstacle, criticism, and whisper of doubt acted as a stepping stone toward your success. You've transformed their efforts into lessons, their obstacles into runways, and their doubt into the wind behind your wings. Their inability to control your destiny demonstrates more than just your power. It's a mirror, reflecting their own fears. Watching you prosper despite their attempts has made them rethink their own judgments and motivations. It's a humbling experience for them to realize that their efforts to impede your progress have simply shown their failure to repress excellence. They are now forced to face a painful reality. The power they felt they had over your future was really an illusion. You've rewritten the story, recovered the pen, and built a future that beyond their limiting imagination. While they were busy planning methods to keep you down, you were quietly preparing the foundation for your unstoppable climb. Every moment they've thought would shatter you has really reinforced your determination. Their tactics to dissuade you have exposed their own fears and weaknesses. You've shown that genuine strength rests in resilience, flexibility, and a firm trust in your own abilities. And now, as you climb higher, they're left standing in the shadows of their own failed efforts. As you saw, I was watching in astonishment, because when 2 or 3 people get together in my name, I am there in the middle of them. Matthew 18:20. Just like a flare attracts moths from the dark, your light has become a meeting place for people who are intended to travel this journey with you. This isn't a coincidence. This is heavenly alignment. The people and opportunities that come your way are being choreographed by a hand much larger than your own, managing all connections and opening all doors. Your soul emits a frequency of purpose, a resonance that naturally attracts the proper people, situations, and time. It's as if the universe has become a gardener, tending to your development by sowing seeds of connections that will bloom into lifetime support and shared vision, while others continue to cycle through the same frustrations and stagnant patterns. You're prospering in a garden of possibilities. They're watching, but they don't comprehend. To them, it seems easy, and perhaps unjust. How come chances appear to seek you out? How come you are surrounded by individuals who elevate, encourage, and inspire? They are perplexed because they have never experienced what it is like to be really linked, to live in harmony with a greater purpose that attracts wealth and partnership. Your connections now reflect the vitality you've developed. You left behind poison, skepticism, and dread, embracing relationships that enhance your abilities and reflect your progress. These bonds are not formed out of convenience or duty. They are formed in shared purpose, in the knowledge that by working together, you are building something much bigger than any of you could achieve on your own. This is your opportunity to shine. Subscribe now and let's make it memorable. Meanwhile, people watching from the sidelines are starting to feel the consequences of their decisions. They see you prospering, surrounded by a network of like-minded individuals, and are forced to face the truth of their own stagnation. They have adhered to what is known, afraid of stepping into the unknown. And now they realize that their comfort has come at a price. It isn't only your achievement that worries them. It's the dramatic contrast in your trip to theirs. Your life has become an example of what is possible when purpose meets bravery, when faith leads to action. You have emerged from the shadows of mediocrity and into the light of your purpose. And it's causing them to look within, to examine the restrictions they've set for themselves. No weapon made against you will flourish, and you will condemn every mouth that rises against you in judgment. Isaiah 5,417. Your climb, like a tree planted by live waters, has served as a monument to perseverance, purpose, and divine alignment. Each step ahead leaves them startled, as they grapple with a change they never imagined imaginable. The person they previously knew, cautious, uncertain, and constrained by their expectations, no longer exists. In their place is someone brave, confident, and unyielding. Your every action reflects a higher purpose, one founded on connection with forces bigger than yourself. They're left observing, unable to understand how chances and connections are suddenly flowing to you so easily, while they're still trapped in cycles of fear and reluctance. You go ahead with clarity, creating a life that reflects your ultimate ideal. It isn't only your achievement that worries them. This is the company you now maintain. You've surrounded yourself with supporters who encourage, inspire, and magnify your mission. In sharp contrast, they stay linked to draining relationships, unable to break free from the patterns that keep them stuck. Your purposeful interactions, based on mutual progress, emphasize what they have declined to explore on their own. What bothers them the most is the understanding that their efforts to hold you back have actually accelerated your progress. Every attempt to undercut you, every doubt they threw, served as fire for your ascension. You've prospered not in the face of their opposition, but because of it, making every impediment become a stepping stone. This isn't just luck. This is heavenly alignment. Your development reflects a greater purpose at work. They cannot touch or disturb its flow. Each triumph serves as a mirror, pushing individuals to face their own inactivity and concerns. They now understand that your trip is led by something much beyond their understanding, a purpose that protects and pushes you. Let them watch. Allow them to inquire. You've entered a place that they cannot reach, walking in support of something no one can refute. Every action you do is a proclamation of faith, bravery, and purpose. This is your moment. Divinely led, unstoppable. Stand tall in your might, knowing that no force can disrupt the path set for you. You are not only ascending, you are prospering. Nothing can stop you back. The indisputable truth about who you are is now coming to light. And they can't reject down every opportunity. They turned down every opportunity that presented themselves. Now it stands as a stark reminder of their short-sightedness. It's not like you transformed suddenly. The seeds of your greatness were always patiently waiting to blossom. Now, as your potential grows, they are forced to confront their incapacity to perceive what has always been in front of them. The truth about your trip has become a mirror for their own doubts, anxieties, and failures. They formerly believed that meeting your strength meant mistaking their own fears for your limits. But with each success you make, the narrative they created about you unravels, and what they believed they knew no longer stands up to the indisputable proof of your climb. They are left grappling with a new perspective, one in which their criticisms were never about you, but rather about their incapacity to comprehend your power. It's not just disbelief, it's a total transformation of how people see you, and by implication, themselves. They now see that their efforts to undermine you were a desperate attempt to safeguard their weak feeling of superiority. This reckoning is not just about your accomplishment. It's about their mistakes and lost chances to help or unite with you. Watching you now is a humbling experience, because they realize that every doubt they threw and every roadblock they erected simply strengthened your commitment. Their efforts to define you based on their restricted perceptions failed, and you instead defined yourself on your own terms. What surprises them the most is that the cosmos seems to echo your ascension, matching circumstances to enhance your accomplishments. The reality they neglected has grown too huge to ignore, and they are now confronted with the severity of their error. As you go onward, your magnificence becomes a metaphor for everything they failed to see, forces them to face their own blindness. You have become live evidence that destiny cannot be defied, and now they must watch as your success changes the narrative they sought to construct about you. Their failure to stop you was never indicative of their weakness. It demonstrated your irresistible might.